You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network.
Happy Monday, guys. This is the first week since I have completed the 25 motivational tips series on Loudmouth Radio on my Sunday's Money Motivation. And I have to tell you that it has been an amazing run with this series, and it's propelling me to the next volume of content that I'm preparing to bring to you. And I said today, it just seems very appropriate to talk about investing in yourself. And I wanted to give insight because we're literally halfway through the year, and many of us have been doing our diligent things, and we're getting ready to hit the summer, and kids are out of school, graduations are happening. There's a lot of transition. Right. The summer brings about transition from what your probably 8 to 9 months of your life cycle has been, especially if you have children. If you're in some type of school curriculum, it becomes a restart, a reset. Prior to the summer coming in, you may be preparing for summer school or traveling. A lot of people are traveling or preparing to travel this time of year because of the cycle of change. We're in the second quarter going into the third quarter rapidly. 2024 has been moving very, very quickly and diligently and without mistakenly recognizing that it's important that we take the time to invest in ourselves. And for you, that could be a number of things. I know as for me, I have been diligently working at my list of things that I have set out to do. And as I've been working on those things, it has been imperative to take note of where and how much I have gotten done since the point of the beginning of the year. And, when we're getting to these points of reference, you always want to be able to have something to compare to. So guys, you know what time it is. It's Sonny, and it's time for Money Motivation. Let's go. Welcome to Loudmouth Radio Network. My name is Sonny. As a former professional athlete turned entrepreneur realtor and the producer of Loudmouth Radio Network, I look forward to bringing content to you that empowers, inspires, and entertains you. Tune in each week as we have unscripted and unfiltered talks from entrepreneurship, real estate, politics, entertainment, comedy, LGBTQ topics, day-to-day life, and everything in between. All shows available on demand 24/7 on your favorite podcast platforms. San Jacinto, Temecula Valley areas, and throughout the Inland Empire. Are you looking to become a homeowner in 2024? Register today for the New Home in the New Year seminar hosted by Sold by Sonny. Let's get you from rental to homeowner in the new year. Get the latest insight of down payment assistance programs, whether you purchased a home before or purchasing for the first time. We want to make sure you're provided with the necessary information needed for you to buy your new home in 2024. Look forward to seeing you there.
Diamond Valley Lodge, the one-of-a-kind, unique, exotic dining experience for the whole family. Have dinner with real tigers at Diamond Valley Lodge's 100% safe, unique dinner party experience. Ever dine just feet away from a majestic Bengal tiger? Now you can. A magical evening under the stars with open-air seating in an exotic Zen garden, just feet away from some of the most majestic creatures on the planet, all crown jewels of nature. Dinners are served on Friday and Saturday, brunch on Sunday. Reservation only by calling 855-9-TIGERS or 951-390-2670 or visit diamondvalleylodge.com.
Hi, I'm Hector Calvillo of J&H Automotive, located at 611 West Florida Avenue in Hemet, California. We are a full-service automotive repair shop where you can always expect to receive the highest quality repairs, fairest pricing, best customer service in the industry. My brother George and I grew up watching our dad work on classic cars as a backyard mechanic. His hard work ethic and dedication led us to opening up J&H Automotive in 2009. We started out with a 500 square foot repair shop, and we have consistently grown over the past 15 years to our new 10,000 square foot repair facility in the heart of Hemet. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Call 951-766-5999 to set an appointment for all your automotive service needs.
Okay, so we're going to let's just really look at the overall position of where we sit right now. Some of you may be at work. Some of you may be in your car. You physically may be exercising. You may be out and about. But at some point in the course of you listening to this content, you're taking a initiative to check in and listen to what I'm about to tell you. And that same behavior is the pattern that we have to take when it comes to observing and listening to ourselves and checking in with ourselves. And what I mean by that is that it's so easy to have your list of things to do and you're running through your list and stuff like that. But, you may have work requirements, home requirements, social settings of appointments or meetups that you put on your calendar. We're good at being busy. We know how to be busy. But I think it's a challenge for us sometimes to be more subtle. And in being subtle, it makes us kind of slow down, and it makes us have to examine things and analyze things. And some of us ain't good at it. Some of us overanalyze, right? But at the end of the day, the bigger part of this is that when you're working towards things that are very important to you, you have to look at the margin of where you started, where you are, and where you're headed. And sometimes when you have to make decisions of how you move to the next thing, you have to evaluate what you've been doing and if maybe what you're doing is paying off. Because sometimes you can be doing some things that are not, as they say, fruitful, or it may have been a wonderful thought, may have been a wonderful initiative, but as you got into it, maybe it just didn't stay or sustain the same efforts in which you started. Now, I'm not saying for those who like to start a bunch of stuff and never finish anything, that's not this conversation, okay? But I am saying that sometimes you may take on things or start things that maybe you find your heart is not in it, and you may sideline it, or you may not have the financial support that you need to move it forward, so you put it to the side. You may not throw it away, but you analyze what you have and how you can move and how can you move the needle with certain things, right? So even for me, I'm currently in the height of a media PR run. I have a new comedy series that is up on Loudmouth TV, Dating Like a Dyke, and it's a very important project to me because it's a huge part of the capacity of my life and my relationships and in the endurance of those relationships over the patterns of the time period of my life. And even though it talks about relationships expound beyond just intimacy, they also expound on social and family and general settings. You also have work relationships. And so for me, I'm investing in a lot of different things that is allowing me to move that project forward, right? It took over 2 years to get it to the point of where it is now. And slowly and surely, when you're doing things like this, and you have, of course you create your own timetables, and then life may also interfere with those timetables, but that does not mean that you can't still keep going. It may not be the exact day. It may not be the exact moment. But I do believe that if you wholeheartedly keep showing up and keep investing in yourself, other things will come to play that you may have never, ever expected, right? But it takes it starts with you. It takes your direction. The universe takes your direction. So if you're leaning towards, this is like you're driving your car. If you drive your car and you're driving forward and you put the transmission into drive and you put your foot on the pedal, it's going to take you forward. If you hit the brake and you reverse that transmission into reverse, then the car is going to start going backwards. A lot of us are sitting in between those gears, and we're sitting in this neutral space. And being in neutral is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not a sustaining thing. You can't be in this neutral position, especially when it pertains to your life, and think that you're going to gain, in any precedence of things that you desire. Sometimes neutral works when you need to rest or regroup or rejuvenate. If you need a timeout, if you need to maybe figure out something that maybe is not working, but to live a life of neutrality is not it. That is not what we have been brought here to be and do. We all have been brought to be destined to do the things that we are capable of and what we desire, right? We do have that free choice opportunity, right? But there's so many elements of our lives that will show up. And if you're not paying attention to, those different things or elements of yourself, you can miss your own opportunities of being a gift to the world, right? Not investing in yourself minimizes sometimes your gift to the world and to yourself, right? So when when things become trivial, and they will, I'm not saying just because you're headed in the direction of what you want that things won't show up or come across your path. That's not at all, to be impossibly expected. But what do you do in those time periods when things are crossing over you, right? I love this analogy of the car because it's so much of how we move in life. So if you're driving down the road and something comes and steps into the lane in which you're driving, if it's another vehicle, typically you're going to either hit the brakes or you're going to get over into the next lane. But let's say an animal, a deer, comes out of the woods or something like that and makes its way into your lane. Naturally, the first thing you're going to do is probably try to slam on your brakes. You're probably going to grip your wheel tighter. You're going to try to think fast, and you're also going to try to pay attention to see which direction that deer is going to go, so you can go the opposite direction. Guys, that's how we have to kind of do when it comes to obstacles, when it comes to maybe circumstances, whether it's in a person form, a situational form, even in ourselves. Sometimes we have to get ourselves out of our own way because we're creating our own obstacles. So we have to be prepared, in our quest of our better selves, that there's going to be things that are going to come in your path. There are going to be things that can distract you. There are going to be things that could, inhibit your journeys. But does that mean you could just completely stop? So I imagine if a deer runs out in the car, runs out in front of you in your car, are you just going to stop on the highway, turn off the engine, leave the keys on the dashboard and walk because the deer got in your path? No. You're going to either move to the right or left. You're going to stop, right? Hopefully you won't hit it, But let's talk about those times. Sometimes you can't avoid the collision. And when you can't avoid the collision, it's not necessarily the collision that still needs to be evaluated. It's maybe how you respond during the aftermath of that collision, right? The disruption of your journeys, your disruption of where you were headed. You right? Does any of this sound familiar, guys? I hope so. Because these are the way things appear and things actually happen in our lives. And it's parallel to understand that you're the driver of your own journey. You're the driver of your own destination. And you cannot allow yourself to be distracted by things that are outside of that car, that are outside of your hands and your feet. Your feet is on the pedal, your hands is on the wheel, and your face hopefully is moving and showing is face forward. You can have peripheral vision now. You can see what's going on around you, but that does not mean you can't drive looking to the left and to the right only. You have to drive facing forward. So I think my biggest thing to you guys is that, it's important to invest in yourself, and it's important to stay focused. It's important that no matter when people not not in the walk with you, or those are around you are not necessarily being as supportive of you or what you're doing, then maybe they're not showing up. I've had quite a bit of an experience since I've started my project and things that are surrounding it. And I just say, keep going, Sonny. Just keep going. Don't let any of these things that are distractions fall to you. Because trust me, we're gonna look back at this day and we're gonna remember when. And we'll be able to look back at it and smile. And so, guys, that's what I'm telling you today. Invest in yourself, keep looking forward, and remember this day, because you'll be able to look back and smile and say, I remember when. Yo, y'all know what to do. Y'all be blessed.
You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network.